Where did you study music?
Hola, soy Lars Vogt. That's a bit funny, no?
No,
Where did I study music?
where did you study music?
Um, I started in my hometown in Düren, which is near Cologne in Germany, with a wonderful teacher called Ruth Weiss. And then I moved on to study with Karl-Heinz Kämmerling, one of the most important teachers in Europe, really, at the time, in Hanover at the Musikhochschule. And yeah, I worked with him actually until 2 years ago, until the time when he unfortunately passed away.
Have you received any distinction or musical prize?
Um, well, the biggest distinction is when great colleagues say that you played beautifully, or when the audience loves your concert. That's the best distinction. But well, I got some distinctions from the Hochschule. I got a diploma there. I didn't finish the whole studies then altogether because I was too busy playing concerts already. Um, I got a prize at the most important prize that I got was at the International Piano Competition in Leeds in 1990.
Are you specialized in any repertoire?
Well, I play all kinds of repertoire, but I feel particularly at home in the, as we say, German repertoire, basically the from Bach, Mozart, Haydn, Beethoven to Schumann, Schubert, Brahms, um, and I love playing all these things particularly, and it does seem that I do get invited a lot for Mozart piano concertos. So people seem to think that there must be a specialty there. I do feel very close to Mozart.
Is there any concert in your life that you remember specially?
Oh, several, yeah, many concerts. I mean, first of all, for example, this finale at the Leeds competition where I first worked with Sir Simon Rattle together, and then with other great conductors that I've had the fortune to work with, um, like Daniel Harding or Christian Thielemann or Pavel Järvi, to name just a few. Um, and a lot of chamber music that I love doing. I love working with the violinist Christian Tetzlaff, and used to work a lot with the Russian cellist Boris Pergamenchikov, and lots of other people. But many concerts are memorable where something special happens in a moment. It can also be a solo recital, it can be anything.
Why is Mozart one of the best composers of the history?
I saw an interview with Arnoncourt recently. He recorded some Mozart, and he said Mozart can only be underestimated. And I think he's really right. That we, even when we dig very deep and really love Mozart, we still don't understand everything or don't understand the everything in the depths that he felt it. He is the musical genius, uh, an invention of themes, of ideas that often we don't know why, but that touches us and moves us so deeply. And that effect that on yeah human soul hasn't diminished over the years. If anything, I find it becomes stronger with time.
Which characteristics do you stand out of Mozart's piano music?
Well, like every genius, he can portray every character. Um, I think basically we hear in his music that he is basically a very joyful person. And I think he had fun in life. It was probably nice to hang out with him, I would think, and have a beer with him. um, but then when he knew also the darker side and the sadness and melancholy, especially, often I think even joyful melodies have a subtext of melancholy behind it. an ideal that cannot be reached, or a theme that reminds of childhood, but it isn't childhood, it's just the memory of it. So it's several layers of emotions that happen at the same time. The melodic gift is incredible, the harmonic gift is incredible, the structural gift is also incredible, but the ideas are the most incredible thing.
3 words to describe him.
Few words. I mean, I didn't know him,
Well,
but
his
I
music,
think
you know his
I think
music very well.
I think I know him a little bit through his music, definitely. Well, as I said, a very joyful person, um, who knew also about the depths and darknesses of life. And when the joy breaks away, when it becomes really sad and dark in the few compositions in minor keys, then it touches us particularly, because it seems like something so fragile has been touched. Quite vulnerable, definitely. Anybody who's sensitive is also vulnerable. Hmm.
Okay. You are going to have 2 concerts in Bogota, one with the violinist Guy Brandstein. Have you played with him before?
Not in a duo, but we've played some chamber music, and I played with the Berlin Philharmonic when he was still the concertmaster. So I know him quite well here from Berlin.
And could you speak about the works you are going to play with him?
Oh, we play three violin sonatas, um, which are incredible pieces. I mean, they have a certain dominance of the piano. Um, but the violin adds a color in the most tender way. And it's a beautiful dialogue, sometimes also virtuosic dialogue, like in the A major sonata. Um, and then in other pieces, like the G major sonata, the chamber music in its essence, it's really basically it's house music. It's not really designed for a concert hall. It's everybody needs to move in closer, sort of like towards stage, and really get their ears towards what's going on there, because what's happening is quite intimate.
Mhm. In the second concert, you will play the piano concerto number 27 with the Staatskapelle and Giuseppe Caballé, the conductor. Have you played with this orchestra or under the baton of him before?
No, actually, having said that, no, I think I've played with the orchestra, but over 20 years ago, so it doesn't count anymore.
And could you tell something about this piece, this concerto?
Yes, it's one of my favorite pieces of all. It was actually the first piece of classical music that I really, really fell in love with when I was a child. I had a record of it, and it was the first time that I loved listening to a record so much that I played it over and over and over again. Um, to me, it is written in the last year of his life. Of course, there's this question: did he feel anything that his life might soon be over or not? Maybe it also doesn't matter, but I do feel that in the piece there's a certain sense of farewell, of saying goodbye. Um, it's not a dramatically sad piece. It's got quite joyful melodies on the outside, but there's a conspirator feeling with it that that gives it a certain melancholy, and I often have to actually fight my tears when I'm on stage when playing it, because I find it so moving.
Could you say something in Spanish to invite us to your concerts?
Absolutely. Hola, soy Lars Vogt, toco el piano y estaré en el segundo Festival Internacional de Música de Bogotá. Bogotá es Mozart. Los espero en esta gran fiesta musical Y recuerden que en Bogotá todos somos Mozart.